Alright, I'm bored, so we need to choose another vacuum to do a deep clean test on. Let's do... I'm kind of curious to see what this power groom will do. Oh, she's heavy. Oh, she's heavy. I mean, actually, I dealt with a lot, with a lot of lighter machines, so... To wrap some tape around the end of the hose here because it has a problem where there's not enough friction to hold it in, because this thing it's 2011. The person I got this from got it in 2012, and it was used as a daily driver since 2012, and then he gave it to me because he bought a new machine. So I mean, 12 years on machine. I think he said it was like $100 brand new for $100 machine back in a bagless machine back in 2011, or well, he got it in 2012, but it ain't too bad. Consider, I mean, it's still trying its best to hold on by a thread. It's not doing too perfect as we speak, but it is trying yet again. The only problem it has right now is the motor is slowly but surely dying. I've done what I can to try and save it, but there's really not much more I can do. These are unserviceable motors. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do with them unless you really want to tear them apart, but there's no lubrication droppers or anything like that, so once they get as bad as this one's gotten, there really is no fixing it. The best thing to do is just prevent it. And the person I got this from, yes, he cleaned it, but he let someone else borrow it a few times, and every time he got it back, it was all clogged up. And yeah, he said he cleaned it once a week very thoroughly. So yeah, I did go over this with the Shark and the Black & Decker because they're two of the vacuums on my list now that do 32%. So we're going to just use the carpet powder that's in there right now to It is not 73 grams on. Why is this thing can be really confusing sometimes. I'll never understand. I don't get why it does that. One second. I think I got it. I think this thing's gonna fail miserably. Another thing is, I've done every one of these vacuums on their lowest setting, so that's one thing I have to stick to. Cannot let that scale shut off, that's why it starts acting funky. You'll hear this thing, it's starting to whine quite a bit. bad. %. So better than the M-Power. Alright, so that was pretty bad for this thing, but how much you want to bet there's plenty of it on? Oh, wow, there's actually not much on here for once. Usually there's a shit ton of it in the... Let's see just how much more is in the hose. A little bit more. I really don't like this scale. Alright, well, either way, you can see there was a little bit left in the hose there. It was a whopping, 13 grams, or not even, 0.13 left in the hose. So yeah, this thing failed quite miserably. Although it did do, it did better than the Hoover M-Power and the Ultima, but it did worse than the worn out old Cleanview 3590. So that's kind of disappointing, considering this is newer and was more expensive brand new. So, and they both, I mean, it's been clean. It was brand new clean before we just started. Here. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing, but oh well. I mean, can't, expect the best and everything, right? I was just hoping for something a little bit better. I mean, it is to be expected for how much this thing was abused. It's not abused to the point where it should be lacking any performance. I mean, the brush was a little worn out, but it's still way stiffer than the one on that Cleanview, so it's something else. That Cleanview has an unaligned motor, which means the fan doesn't seal right, so it doesn't have nearly as much suction and airflow as a normal one would. That Cleanview, the 3590 model, the one that's all butchered together with the 71Y7 and Helix 12B1 parts, did better than this. Not by much. I also have another Cleanview, a newer one. But yeah, so that's a little disappointing, but oh well.